Wait, what happened?
We're
Yeah,
live.
we're live now.
Right.
Word.
Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of Politics as Usual. I am Shelly,
AB, aka Amira.
What's good? I'm Life.
and we here.
We just
So,
politicking,
per usual. So, for those of you who are noticing a little change, which is the handsome man right here, he was not here last episode due to technical difficulties, but here he is.
Welcome live.
What's
All
good?
right.
What's good?
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Happy to
I
be in the
definitely belong
building.
on a welcome committee. I'm that type of person. Welcome.
You on the praise team at church? Welcome, welcome.
Yes, I do. I need to be on the praise team at church, definitely.
Giving all glory and honor to the pastor who's the head of this house.
And let the church say,
I want to welcome you.
Was that an amen, Shelly?
yes, it is.
Amen.
Hey, that's what the
Amen.
the church says.
All right, so let's get into it. We'll be politicking about today. It's so much going on. I don't even know where to start.
Hmm.
So somebody
Find
jump
some
in.
juicy stuff.
Go ahead, Amanda.
I got some
One,
juicy stuff. Damn, I should have checked my notes before this, but uh,
one thing about
I don't
Amira,
wanna.
Amira got the notes, okay? You
I
better
wrote
know. She got the note. The notepad is typed up.
She ready.
hold on, guys,
Right.
because I typed them this time because this is a good one.
Amira, your camera's out. Where did you go?
I'm back in.
All right.
I'm sorry, I had to review my notes. I typed them this time instead of writing them. Um, I had one on top of the head, but I think I wanted to go with the one I wrote. It came up yesterday, actually, and I was wondering because, especially when you're watching TV, like coming of age stories, you ever notice when they be like, did you don't give me the talk? Mom, are you ready to give me the talk? I don't want to, or are you, or okay, sit down, I want to give you the talk. I'm bringing it up because I'm just wondering, because I know me personally, I never had to talk. And I was just wondering, those that you could share at any base you want to share, but like, did you ever have to talk? Y'all know what the talk is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to talk after it was too late. It didn't matter at that point.
I
It
know
was
what the
it's
talk
almost
is.
like the punishment talk, not the preparation talk. Is what I got.
Yeah,
Never had to talk. I grew
never
up with
had to talk.
I
I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like, damn, I probably could have been a little bit different if I had to talk. I don't know.
I agree 100% with that.
I grew up with a single mom, so who grew up in the church and things like that. So she was trying to raise me, I guess, in that form and fashion. So we never had to talk, but the homies on the block gave me
Okay.
the uncut version of the fastest way to manhood is to lay down with a woman. Like you ain't a man.
Oh.
So
Oh.
so it was like, and a lot of those guys were like 18 and I was like 11, 12. It's like, you're not a man yet? You're not a man yet? And it would go something like that. And then it was like, if I said I was, then it was like a pop quiz afterwards. So I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm a man, 11, 12. Probably never even
Uh,
smelt nothing, touched nothing, whatever. But then the pop quiz came behind it. It was like, well, how many holes do a woman got? And I'm like, oh, I don't know.
right, man. You like, man? I wasn't even checking for all that.
Like, I just know I use one and, try to, use psychology on them. They're like, oh, you don't know. And I'm like, Now that I'm older, I'm like, I done seen some stuff, so I'm like, how many holes we talking now? Like, because things is a lot crazy.
Things is real crazy these days. I'm not like that's all I can say. Like these days, things is like observed, and also you have access to getting to talk like
Mm-hmm.
very openly, as opposed to like when I was growing up, everything was a secret. Like everything was a secret. Like even so, on a woman's, and maybe Shelly could agree to this or not, but I know like in my family, becoming a woman is getting your menstrual. And so even during the time of becoming like getting a menstrual, it was a big secret. Like it was such a secret that the information wasn't disclosed. And I do feel like this right here, I'm 34 right now, and um, I just like to think back, and I'm like, yo, if I would have knew certain things, or if I would have got different conversations, or different stuff would have gotten to me earlier on, I probably could have made better decisions. That's why I wanted to kind of bring it up because I like to talk.
I agree with that 100%.
But
I feel
we
the
didn't
same
talk about
way. And I'm
shit.
like,
Just do what you're supposed to do and go and be a good kid. Like
yeah. A lot of things I learned. Let's say I learned the hard way. Like I had to go through the shit to learn about what it was because nobody ever set me down and like talked to me about it. Like, all right, you're coming of this age and you're gonna start encountering this and this is what's gonna start happening. And if this happens, you do this and what to look for, what not to look for. Like I didn't have those things either. And I feel like to what Amira said, like I feel like I would have definitely dodged a lot of bullets. I probably wouldn't have become a teen mom had I had to talk and all those things. So life, I'll ask you this question since you have a sons, have you had to talk? And if you have, like what age did you start? Like tell me about that.
All right, so before we get to them, I think the other thing too, for me personally, I think it would have gave me initial respect for women because I think it wasn't, for what they have, and dealing with a woman and getting that intimate, what I mean, having sex or whatever, because it was just more like something to prove I was a man. It wasn't like I had to really like this woman, this female at the time or whatever. It was just a goal, like, I'm proving to them I'm a man, type thing. Now, so funny as it seems, my conversation has evolved as far as like the talk. So my nephew, who is, I want to say about 26 now, he was my first practice at the talk. Which was simply wear a condom. I'll buy you condoms. You know what I mean? Like you want to have sex, I'll buy you condoms, and kind of went at it like that. And the first time he got some, the next time with the same woman, he got her pregnant. Like,
well, needless to say, your talk didn't
yeah.
work
So
out.
that was the first conversation. He was probably like 17, 18 when we had to talk. And he just, you know, he found euphoria. You couldn't tell him that. You know what I mean? Like he just, you on mute, Mir. Amir, you on mute. Yeah, he found euphoria, and it didn't matter what nobody told him. He just knew that them condoms was a waste of money. and, and then with my sons, it was you know, it was a more in depth conversation. About all the things that can happen. Giving them different segues. Like if you do this, you'll end up like that. If you do this, you'll end up like that. You want to respect yourself. Not just you know yes, you want to respect the woman that you decide to go down that pathway, but you also want to respect yourself.
Right.
Like, you don't want to become community property. You know, like, you don't want to be looked at as like the guy who goes, gets it in with everybody, you know what I mean? You know, wear condoms, you know, be careful just because she look cute don't mean she clean, you know.
Never trust a big butt and a smile. That
Yeah.
girl is poison.
And I'm like, don't be prepared to, you know, do nothing if you ain't willing to handle it. Cause like right now, you know, my wife and I, we take care of you. You become a parent, you lost all privilege, bro. Like,
Mhm.
it's time to man up now. You know, not so much that you are a man, but you just got the responsibility.
Responsibility is a little bit different.
Yeah, you gonna have man responsibilities. I take care of this family. Now you gonna have to take care of yours. Like
Right.
Christmas, birthdays, everything cut off. Like it's gonna be about the baby. Yeah, so you know, I think they take it in stride. You know, my youngest is still, you know, he love women. So you know, I ain't gonna get into what my wife said, but he, you know, he loved the girls. So
He a little Casanova.
yeah, you know,
Little ladies man.
yeah, you know, his Instagram name is She Love Justin. So yeah,
She loves Justin.
like,
He love Justin.
yeah,
Oh, these girls love me,
But it's
man.
so funny when you was saying like how your conversation changed. I feel like a lot of times it's like I can only speak for our culture because that's the only one that I know. But I feel like we kind of try to scare our kids into not doing stuff instead of just speaking to
mhm,
them as individuals and giving them real information, like telling them why. It's kind of like, oh, don't have sex, or you better not be doing this, or you better not be doing that. And it's just kind of like, one, everybody knows if you tell somebody not to touch something because it's hot, the first thing they're gonna do is touch it because they got to make sure it's hot. So I
mhm.
feel like it's so important that we have these conversations with our youth, but like talk to them like they're freaking like human beings. Like I feel like we think that children are stupid and that they don't comprehend, but they are extremely intelligent. And if you would just talk to them like they're human beings with their brains, like they are capable of handling the information if you deliver it them to deliver it to them in a meaningful way. Like, okay, don't have sex before you get married. It's not enough to just tell a girl don't get sex before you get married. It's important for you to explain to them why. You know, you don't want to do that because this, and you know this could happen and that could happen, and give them examples because we are the best examples. We are the living examples because we already done this that we want them to not do. So listen, like my daughter, she 20. Like I talk to her, I didn't quite so much when she was younger because it was just one of those things that, and I feel like another reason too is that a lot of, especially when you're like a single mom, it really is the time. Like you just I can speak for myself. I was just moving and shaking and working and doing so much that like the talk never came up until it had to come up. You get what I'm saying? But by that point, it was kind of like, all right, so from this point forward, this is what you do. Where I wish that it could have been a preventative talk, like not even a preventative talk, but a preparation talk. Like prepare
Preparation, I like that.
prepare yourself for those things that are coming because they're coming. Like they're coming. You're gonna
Yeah.
grow up, you're gonna meet a boy, you're gonna, do. Those things are going to happen. But I feel like, so many of us have the conversation after it's already happened. So it's kind of like you got to address it. But by that point, it's kind of too late because they've already learned whatever they were going to learn from someone else.
Yeah,
And most of the time, it's their peers who know less than what they know. So,
I think like with my oldest, the conversation happened like early because he's 18 now, but it happened early, like maybe preteen, because a little girl was sexting him, you know. So, at 10, 11, 12, trying to send little pictures and all that and everything.
the little girls be fast.
Yeah,
Like this
Little
younger
girls are fast.
generation, the little girls be faster than the little boys.
real
Little
aggressive.
girls are fast.
So I have a friend, right? And she has a son. He's 18 now. When he was younger, I would be telling her like he's getting to that age. Talk to him like have you or like somebody like yo. He needs to have the talk. He's
Mm-hmm.
coming to that point. Oh, he dumb. He don't know nothing about nothing. Da, 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 da. He don't know nothing about nothing. Da, da, da. Until you found out that he was in the woods trying to do the do, but thank God because they didn't really know what they were doing. It didn't actually happen. But it's just like in that, like never think that your kids are so naive that they don't know what the fuck is going on because they know. I knew what sex was when I was younger. Like I knew what it was. Like so to think that kids are naive and they don't know what's going on, no, they know. So it's
Yeah.
best to talk to them as young as young as possible that they can comprehend it. Talk to them about it because trust me, they're being exposed to it in some form or fashion. Mind you, kids at 6 years old got cell phones, and 98% of them don't have no damn parental controls. So they got access.
So
The
I'm
movies that they're watching, they're having sex, they're kissing, they're touching. Like children are being exposed to that at such a young age. Like talk the second that they can comprehend, tell them about their body, all that good stuff. Like because yeah, I say, girl, yeah, you talking about he don't know what he's doing. You could have been a grandma.
listen.
If they would have been successful at the attempt, you would have been a grandma because he don't know nothing. But he gonna explore.
I give a prime example. So with my youngest, the conversation happened early too. But one day he was with his mom and he was doing a Google search and he put something in there, but it came up as naked people. And his mom had a fit. She called me like, he's out here searching porn and everything, blah blah blah. But he's like, no, dad. He's like, we talking, he crying, everything like that. I wasn't, I just was Google searching something, and this is what came up. So he was having a fit. But I say that to say the kids today have knowledge. They don't have wisdom. They definitely don't have understanding.
Oh,
So they can gain access to all this stuff, but they don't understand like how like all right for men at an earlier age, it was about the count, you know, but for the women it was the reverse. You were looked at, frowned upon if you had a high body count. Even to this day, men still look at a woman like she could be in her 40s and they like, wait, you got more than two people you've been with? Like, like it's something crazy.
sorry.
Meanwhile,
Like,
I got about 200.
yeah. So
Stop
Listen,
playing.
it's so crazy. And listen to me. Could you imagine, right? One of a niece or your nephew. I'm gonna just say a niece or some young female in your life googling my coochie pink and my booty hole brown. What will pop up? Like imagine, because a lot of kids now, like they don't even type, they'll just talk, they'll like tell Siri or whatever the case may be. They'll be like,
Facts.
oh, hey Siri, my coochie pink and my booty hole brown. Like, do you know what they could see? Like, so it's like listen, word of advice, if y'all have young children, talk to them when they are old enough to comprehend. Don't wait until it's too late because you can't undo what's already done, but you can definitely prevent it by having the talk earlier than later, sooner than later. Don't think that they are stupid, that they don't know what's going on because they know. Trust me. I knew. He
yeah.
knew. She knew. We knew. We knew.
And I also think the other part of it is, you know what I mean, like when you get into this whole conversation about it, like, you know what I mean, like like I explained like the euphoria of, your first time and everything, but it's as I've gotten older, I've learned that you take a part of that woman with you. You know what I mean? So I try to explain that, now because I'm more knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, that male driven ego in the beginning was like, let me just sleep with a lot of women, you know,
Right. They
versus
left Pound Town, huh? Like,
yeah. Like, it wasn't.
Yo, not
There's gonna be some women that can say, I treated him right, and there's gonna be some women like, oh, he just went for self. You know what I mean? Like, so like, oh, all right, you're doing these things now, and that's a different kind of conversation. Like, are you trying to please the woman, just trying to please yourself?
Right.
These are conversations we're gonna have. Now, I'll tell you this. This is funny because when I used to tell my mom, like in my 20s, I was like, I'm like, Mom, yeah, I be having sex. She's like, oh, I don't want to hear that. Like, stop telling me that, because she's like, I'm her only son. She's like, I don't want to hear that. I'm like, oh yeah, Mom, or she's like, why'd you have that girl? I wasn't living there, but I had brought this young lady to my mom's house.
First of all, niggas love taking chicks to their mom house. And don't have no intention on ever it being nothing else but you come to my house for the night.
Yeah, so
y'all are so good with that. And the fucking moms be with this shit too.
My mom. So my mom was she's being nosy. I want to say she's being nosy, but it's her house. You know what I mean? And I popped up with a young lady. You know what I mean? And my mom was like, that young lady is a little promiscuous. You know what I mean? Because she used to teach her in school. Back in the day. So she's like, yeah, she's a little promiscuous, and I was like. I ain't say this in front of her. This ain't the conversation we had in front of her though, but she this the conversation we having after the fact, like maybe a couple days later I came back by, and she's like, yeah, she a little promiscuous. I was like, yeah, I know. That's why I brought her here. You know what I mean? Like to enjoy her for the moment, and then, but she don't even know where I live. Everybody can know where you live because this is your house. I don't
Not
live.
everybody can know where you live, like.
Not
from Mom Duke's house under the bush.
Yeah. Not my place of residence. My mom's. That's a staple. This is your house. You will be here for a minute. They can come here. They can't come to where I live. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, those conversations have definitely had to mature. With my sons and other people.
Right. Yeah. Strap it up. So, question.
Strap it up.
Okay. So, what do y'all think about this whole Jada and Will stuff, like resurfacing and re-becoming a thing? Like, I've only been seeing certain things that like my friends have been sharing in the group chat because I got off the socials. But it's just like, what is going on? So apparently, I did hear that she announced on her show that they had been separated for like 7 years or something like that. Did y'all hear that?
Mm-hmm.
So what do y'all think? What do y'all think about that?
So all right. So this guy on social media, he was saying how despite
not my ring light just going out. Hey, don't do me like that.
I thought you had switched to like a sepia filter or something.
I did not, but that's what I did. Like, shout out the ring lights; they make a big difference, girl. Yeah. Right?
Nah, I just got the ceiling light on, but
your ceiling light on top tier. Popping. Yeah, I need that ceiling light.
But she so the guy was saying like it's part of the marketing strategy for her book to be number one. So
Marty,
huh?
Was it Marty Woodrick?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. So go ahead.
So he was saying like, it was a marketing strategy that it had been in the works for a minute. Her book is number one bestseller. She's been kind of giving little hints, little digs, and everything. And she doesn't have a platform no more. Red Table Talk got canceled on Facebook.
It did?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. Oh, wow. Give me 1 second, y'all. Gotta go fix these technical difficulties.
So, yeah, Red Table Talk got canceled on Facebook. She don't have a platform. And she's probably looking for somewhere to bring it to. That's why she hasn't done it. So she's been on like other people's shows, talking and promoting, doing the book tour. So you know, Will won't damage the brand by talking bad about her because he's in my mind he's in one of them instances where even when you think he won, he lost. You know, he can't win for losing in this instance to me. Like if he talk about her and defend himself, he gonna look weak because he tearing down a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
If he don't defend himself, he's still gonna look weak because he allowing the black woman to emasculate him.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's just like that.
she back brighter than ever.
Shout out to the ring light because yeah.
All this
Right.
all this melanin be saturating the lens. You know what I mean?
Right. I just want to say real quick. I just want to say real quick. Shout out to the team because we had some technical difficulties, some physical difficulties, but we here. We showed up because we love y'all, and yeah, I just wanted to say that quick. But go ahead. Back to what I said. That situation is just crazy to me.
Yeah.
I want to say, I'm just, there's a lot of things that's coming up for this.
It's a lot
Like,
to unpack.
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack. But one thing that definitely came up for me. Well, first I'm gonna say what I actually feel about this stuff that's going on. She's releasing this book, and then and she's telling all the juice, the tea, if you will, and it was just Gammy. I believe they called her grandma Gammy, her mom.
Mhm.
It was just her birthday.
Mhm.
And Will was in the pictures. They were taking big family pictures, which, okay, maybe y'all got like a family dynamic that y'all be a family, but y'all don't be married. I don't know what's going on. Because she was saying, like, basically, they decided that they were never going to get married, but it's not working. What I think is happening, I don't know. All I know is that the blogs are saying that Will may be gay. And this is what the blogs are saying. And what I'm seeing, Jada, she be wanting dick. Excuse me. because when she had that thing going on with August, I just feel like she wanted to explore Euphoria. And maybe Will was exploring Euphoria. And they didn't align anymore. And they're deciding to do what's best for the family. Okay. I like the maturity of doing what's best for the family. I don't really know what's really going on. It's very messy though. And like for her to say, like, oh, we haven't been married for 7 years. And for him to smack Chris Rock on the Oscars, bro, I'm confused. I still don't know why you did that. I feel like, I don't know, but I believe in other forces. So I feel like something went in you. But I don't know what's going on because it's just like.
She said in the interview that Chris Rock hollered at her when he heard that they were separated or divorced. So she told him that.
That's what's going on.
Yeah, so she told him that he tried to holler while they were separated or divorced or whatever. So that probably had something to do with it, the energy he was on, because he like maybe the jokes is a little more flirty. You know how like when you was a kid, somebody called you ugly because they liked you and you just didn't know they liked you. So Chris Rock looked like he taking that approach and Will mind. But that's like kind of back to what I was saying when you said they saying he gay. Like he in a no-win situation to me. Like no matter what he's going to do, it's going to come off wrong if he do anything. If he don't say nothing, he going to look like a sucker. People going to say he gay. You know what I mean? If he do something,
I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I don't even.
If he do something, he going to look like a sucker because why you going at a woman? You know what I mean? So he's in a no-win situation to me. Like,
but why he never been with nobody? Like, why he's not?
See, that's the difference.
Dipping and dabbing. I'm just curious.
They always say he was dibbling and dabbling. and that was probably part of the issue. Like they had this one thing with Charlize Theron when he did that movie with her. Um, what movie was?
Focus.
Yeah, yeah, one of the movies like that. He did some movie with her, but they were showing them like all on social media, and they were like kissing in the mouth, like doing the press run and all that stuff, hugging on each other. You know, just like him. I think he hollered at J Lo while Diddy was with her. He was
That's Big Willie from Philly.
Yeah, he was. They were saying he. That's why they had an open marriage because he when he was on top, big box office Will, it wasn't no woman he couldn't have. So
I still like Will to like speaking of box office, like I still like Will as an actor. Like he's really good from Fresh Prince to what was his latest? That's not his latest, but I Robot. He got something else after that. But
he got a lot after that.
Right. I just got stuck right there. That's probably where
I
all
think
the drama
I Am
started.
Legend. I think I Am Legend might have been like one of his latest I Am Legend.
But he produced a lot.
I know that was really good. Bad Boys. Bad Boys remakes. I mean, not the remakes, like the third one. But 1 and 2, that's my sugar. I like it.
Not that's my sugar. She's trying to keep it PG-13 for y'all, but we appreciate that because we don't know how YouTube going like the profanity. But we grown and we curse, so just FYI, we curse. So this might not be suitable for children.
Twice on Tuesdays.
That's good that you said that. Because I'm gonna say one thing real quick. When I was growing older, even though I didn't get to talk, I did have to cover my eyes and close my ears during grown stuff. Like, and I don't see no kids do that no more. So
let me ask you a question. When you covered your eyes, did you cover your eyes like this, or did you cover your eyes like this?
I covered them, but I covered them. However, I didn't see explicit things without my parents or without my adults around me.
But it's with so my funny to be like,
I covered them.
So I want to ask parents. I want to ask my parents, right? What did you really think that you were shielding me from by telling me to cover my eyes like I couldn't see? Or telling me to cover my ears like I still couldn't hear? Like I seen it all, heard it all.
So
they ain't do shit. You like cover your eyes. Girl, I know what's going on.
So as somebody who worked in the field with, people with disabilities and everything, what I learned from, was like, I never gave it no attention. You know what I mean? So the reason it had more value to you is because they told you couldn't. Like Shell said, the stove was hot, don't touch it. You know what I mean? Those things, it gained value because of something you wasn't supposed to have or see. So when they say cover your eyes, you like.
Right, you like what cover my eyes? What I want to see.
Shit. Yeah. So
but if you just let it happen, it's just kind of like normal.
Yeah. So I'll give you a prime example. I'm black man. I go to the barbershop. Before I had the locks. I still go to the barbershop now, but before I had the locks, I had the low fade waves and everything. So when I had my youngest, the barbershop I used to go to was hood. Like they smoking weed, they drinking, they rolling dice, they doing all these things. You know what I mean? Hood barbershop. One way in, one way out. But I had wanted to
was it on my leave or was it on that?
Neither.
Oh, that was really low then.
Yeah, I mean, we was in the hood. So I wanted to transition away from that once I knew I was having a son. You know what I mean? But it's hard to you've been with your barber for forever, transition away. But when I was in the barbershop, I didn't want him to have that sticker shock. So in the beginning, I was like, yo, I'm gonna correct everybody who curse around my son. You know what I mean? I know it's probably gonna cause some issue. But then I realized, like, I'm not gonna correct them. I'm just not gonna give it any attention. You know what I mean? Like, and so when my son heard curse words, he didn't like react. You know what I mean? He just he just was like, oh, okay, they cursing. Like, I know these are bad words. My dad told me they was bad words, but it didn't make him want to slip up and be like, F this, F that. Now, when I was a kid, I was trigger happy. You know what I mean? You catch me walking down the block, I'm rapping every song with all the curse words and being twice as loud. F that. F that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going ham, but my son, my youngest, he like, you know, because it has no value to him because he heard it. I never know how to, like kind of held it in such a regard that like he felt that need for it. Like,
Right. We love taboo shit. We love shit that's taboo. So that's why if we don't make it taboo, it's not taboo. Like talking about sex, like
yeah,
referring to what we were talking about earlier. We make sex with children so taboo as if they're not going to grow up one day and be fucking. Like they're going to be. So just talk to them about it. Like it's not that serious. Like just have the conversation. Like
So,
you said,
Shells, two things that's covered up. I
Right.
agree. Now, but to a certain extent, because I feel like what's going on is, for me personally, I'll give you an example. I'm at a community event over the weekend. It's all kids and it's all adults. It's multiple, I'm trying to say. And the adults are, just engaging in the space, very eloquent. And the kids, I'm at the ice cream truck. They're giving us free ice cream. Like, to me, I think that's a great. Like, you're getting free ice cream that costs $3. You should be in this line, and you should be happy and smiling and engaging in positive ways. I look back. These kids was like, I mean, all the cuss words that you could just think about. And it's funny, like say that I was like, wow, wow, wow. And they stopped for a second. And then they continued with their engagement. And I stopped myself because I'm like, I'm not about to be the one to make order in this. However, I don't like when children and adults are sharing spaces and kids don't have respect for adults.
Oh, I agree.
I don't know how to get in that, but I
oh no,
just be like, what the fuck's going on?
No, I agree with that 100% because there's too many times that, like, when I was a kid, the whole be seen and not heard, and when the adults is at the table talking, you go outside. I agree with all that, but the problem with these kids is that the adults and the parents are doing the same things, listening to the same things, watching the same things, engaging in the same things. So there's no separation in between what's for adults and what's for children because half of the adults are with children are freaking children themselves. So there's no like delineation like one of my daughter's friends, like she came in here and she called me Shelly and I was like, it's Miss Shelly, not Shelly. She was like, oh, I'm sorry. She was like, I only call you Shelly because my aunts, they like around your same age and they don't want me to call them aunt because they say it make them feel old. Like they don't want me to refer to them as like Miss or whatever because they say they feel old. I said, I don't feel old. It ain't got nothing to do with that, but I'm not your peer. Like, I'm not your peer. You don't call me Shelly, girl. I'm not your friend. The fuck? I'm
It's
not
hard for me.
Look, I ain't want to get little friends. But for
It's
real, but
hard
I'm
for
heavy
me.
on that because I need you to know that there's a certain level of respect that has to come because if I'm letting you call me Shelly, like that means that you my peer. Like you're not my peer. Like so I agree with that sentiment 100%. I don't like stuff like that. But I know a lot of people who when we're all on the phone, we're having adult conversations, like the kids are just right there soaking it all up. And it's just kind of like, no, like send them somewhere. But a lot of these parents, especially moms, is so whacked out in the head from watching all this Law and Order SVU that they afraid to let the kids go the fuck outside.
but I think too, like the whole parenting situation, like, well, number one, I'm definitely that adult that's gonna like check you because you're only gonna do what I allow you to do. You know what I mean? Like I go to my oldest football games, and if it's kids around and they cursing, a lot of the other adults are scared to engage them because they cursing. Listen, I'm turning around and be like, yo, why you cursing all crazy or something? And if they say something, I'm gonna run with it. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna curse you out or nothing. You know what I mean? But if you say something funny, I got something funny to say, and we could go back and forth. Like you want pop jokes, I got you. I'll embarrass you. You know what I mean? Like I'm with all the smoke. I'm not ducking nothing. You know what I mean? Like
No rat.
yeah,
I'm
like
wrecking Ralph out this bitch. What's up?
yeah, all day. You know what I mean? Like so, my wife be like, I be like, or I'll just look at him like. I'm like, oh, don't, and it's even worse when it's women. Sorry, it's a double standard, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like little girls be out here cursing. I'm like, I don't care. Like that's the type of
I
mouth
would
you
never.
got.
I didn't even curse in front of my grandma.
Yeah,
She
but
passed
they,
now, but I never cursed in front of her. Like I would never do that.
but the
But
culture is different. Like Shell said, you know what I mean? Like these moms is out here with they daughters. You know what I mean? Like what? Huh?
did I
Like
curse on the playground? Yeah. Like did I curse on my sisters and cousins? Yeah. Like we said all type of silly stuff. But
Right.
oh
Like they don't care. This
yeah,
generation, they don't care. But it's not their fault. It's not their fault because nobody corrects them. Nobody
yeah.
corrects them.
Yeah.
I'm be
Listen,
like,
that's
I'm
crazy.
like, watch your mouth in front of these little kids.
oh
Don't you
yeah,
see these little kids? Or don't you see these older women in there like have some respect? Like, but for real, like I don't really even be in circles where I experience stuff like that because I don't even like kids that act like that. Like, I'm not about to be around you because I already know me and I know that I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be out here having to fight your mom. Because if you are already the type of child that I feel like I have to, then I can tell what type of mom you have if you're out here just popping off at the lip crazy in front of a bunch of adults. That means your mom ain't that right up here neither. So I know the second that I say something to you, you're gonna say something to her. She's gonna try to say something to me, and
Mhm.
then it's just gonna be a bigger problem. So, like, certain situations, depending upon like the child, I may say something, or I just may be like, that's a shame, and exit because I can't stomach being around it. But I'm not about to be out here fighting people's moms because
I'm saying it.
they just as nutty as the kids.
Especially working in the Camden School District for the few years. Listen, I you might as well just go call somebody because if you 9 times out of 10, I did exactly what your child said I did because they was out here acting a fool, and you should have corrected them too. You shouldn't even be coming for me. You
Right.
should be thanking me for what I just did because your child needs some act right, and
But
I'm
that's because they don't have no act right.
yeah, and you got
It's a
to
mess. Listen, excuse me, who do you think I will grip a kid up good as hell. Like, one thing you're not going to do. Now, y'all can disrespect other adults. If they don't want to say nothing to y'all, that's on y'all. But y'all not going to disrespect me.
yeah.
I don't play that. I don't play that at all. At all. You're not going to talk to
so
me crazy. You're not going to say whatever you want to say to me. No.
Not one thing.
it's funny because I've seen myself in all these situations. So first I wanted to say one time in life, he probably don't remember, he probably do. We was in a space where we were in a community event and we had a student there and I allowed her to call me a mirror and he was like, I missed the life. And I specifically remembered it because I being a being in the education field, working with kids, working with all type of people, I know that I tend to have a lenience against everybody and everything, which is why I always keep security. I like to call them like security type of people around me. So don't get offended, but that's like my Aquarius and my Virgos, very much more security based. like what? Like
Don't play that little dumb shit.
Nope.
yeah. Because I be like, but I'm learning like I'm that being too lenient caused me something. So I have like my students, I have like some fifth graders. I have third, fourth, and fifth graders. And my third and my fourth graders actually completed their assignments. And I'm like going through my assignments. My fifth graders didn't even complete their assignments. My fifth graders was the ones giving me the most mouth, giving me the most talk back, giving me the most. I don't feel like just giving me all types of stuff. And I'm just like, okay, like trying. Then I went to them like, no. That's not gonna work. First and foremost, you know more than them. You know more than them, and you're not producing, and you're just giving me bad talk and talk back. Like, and I realized for myself that I had to go in and be more assertive and go in and put more law, so you will, upon these situations. So I would say, like, it's not a good thing to let stuff slide. No, that's what I learned from that.
Especially now with kids.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? When we was talking about like what type of topics we was on today, like what we going to politic about. This is a good way to segue into what I was going to say: entitlement.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I like that.
like people, people in general, not just kids, but people have this like sense of entitlement. Like like Shell said, they called they call their other aunts by their first name or whatever. So she felt like she was entitled to call you by your first name, even though you never established that type of rapport with her. She just felt entitled because this is what she do.
Mm-hmm.
Put some respect on it. Like you walk in my house, you speak to me.
I ain't them.
Yeah, like
They can let you call them
yeah.
like, and it's like, okay, so my friends' children don't call me Miss Shelley, but we were teenagers when they were kids, so it was just always like Shelley, Shelley, Shelley. They always heard their moms refer to me as Shelley. So like I get that, but like my daughter's friends, y'all not gonna call me by my first name.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's not happening.
Nah, we got like, but that's what I'm saying. It's so much entitlement. Just like you know, kids just assume like I'm going to have sex, or I'm entitled to this. Like, and what brought me to that was I don't know, it's been a rough week for black women. I mean, between Jada, the Cheesecake Factory chick.
What happened? So okay, so as y'all know, I'm not on social media, so I'm not really up to date on all the happenings. So I like I said, I came across some of the Jada memes and heard a little bit about that because people were sharing things to like the group chat. But tell me what's going on about the Cheesecake Factory.
All right, so it's Jada, the Cheesecake Factory chick, and then the Instacart chick.
I don't know about Cheesecake.
I hear about it.
Tell me.
All right, so the Cheesecake Factory. So black woman was on a date with a guy. Yeah, I mean, they pulled up the Cheesecake Factory for their first date. So he went around the car to open her door and everything. She locked the door on him. And she was like, I'm not getting out. And he's like, why? What's up? She's like, you want to take all of this to Cheesecake Factory?
So is that where that list of places that you can't take a woman on the first date stems from?
Yeah.
Okay, so they sent that to the group chat.
I remember that.
Okay.
So
First of all.
So she goes in and tells him like these are my requirements and everything. He was calm. He was calm. And he gave her his reasons, and he just explained to her like the reason why we're here is because we have reservations for the place that you wanted to go to, but you was running over an hour late. You wouldn't let me come in the house. We couldn't sit and talk. I had to wait outside. So we missed our reservation and everything. And from there, he proceeded to say, because of everything you show me now, I'm gonna just take you home. I'm gonna just drop you off. So that was that sense, that sense of entitlement, And he was like, it's not that I can't, He was just like, I'm trying to get to know you, He was like, I was hoping. He was like, I was hoping that, that's why I came early so we could have made the reservation, had some time to talk, blah blah blah. And she wasn't with it. You know what I mean?
So I've been wanting to discuss these women, but I don't know if we even have enough time to get into this. I don't know if we should put a pin in this for next episode because I have a lot to say.
What time is
because
it?
We're currently at coming up on 50 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I have been on this like campaign about women and how and I always say we because I'm gonna include myself, even though some of these things don't pertain to me, but I'm not gonna exclude myself. We are the fucking problem. We are the problem. First of all, he shouldn't even have took her home. He should have left her ass right there in the parking lot and fucking told her ass to take an Uber. Since to all of this, girl, all of what? All of what? All of what? With your Shein outfit, all of what? And this ain't no shade to nobody who wears Shein because I got Shein outfits, but it's just like it's the overinflated ego that these women who get a lace front and a Shein or a Fashion Nova outfit have. Like, first of all, what do you mean all of this? All of this what? What do you mean? Because you beat your face and you got a lace front and you got a Fashion Nova
that
fit?
she was all of that.
Girl, relax. Like,
So,
the overinflated, this is why, and it's sad because I don't know if we did talk about this, but I don't think we talked about it on the episode. The lady who got smacked with the brick. We talked about it, but we didn't talk about it there. That's the reason why she got smacked with the brick. Because who do you think that you are that you could smack a man in the face and then shimmy and drop it like it's hot? And who do you think you are? Like, first of all, let me get a little closer to the camera. A lot of you bitches ain't got nothing going on. Okay? It takes a lot more than a beat face, a lace front, and a Fashion Nova fit to impress a real man. A lot of these niggas ain't checking for y'all like that, okay? So bring it down. Go look in the mirror. Go work on yourself on the inside, and then come back out here correct because y'all are fucking bugging.
Listen.
And on that note, I'm gonna turn it over to somebody else because I really want to grind y'all up, but I'm gonna take it easy. But go ahead, y'all. Somebody else comment.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And women like that gonna get the good time, but not a long time.
Exactly. And I be like, and you wonder why you single.
Yeah. Because you ain't worth the headache that you think you are. You know what I mean? Like
what the
but so that was part of the entitlement. And so the third woman was the Instacart driver.
So what happened with her?
She kind of pulled the Karen in my mind.
Really?
So she was delivering the groceries, and the woman didn't tip her. So she had like a $400 order, and the woman didn't tip her.
I spent $400. Why would I tip?
So
no, I feel like you should tip.
So, but she told her that too.
What if you don't have it?
You got it. You just spent $400. Yep. You have it.
But what if that was on EBT?
Everybody don't.
I don't care. First of all, the bitches who got EBT that I know is richer than me, so I don't want to hear that EBT bullshit. Okay, motherfuckers got money. At the end of the day,
you got paid $400. What am I tipping you for?
She didn't get paid $400. Her order was just $400.
The other one's grocery order was $400.
I feel like anything in the service industry tip. That's enough. We gonna put Amira. Do you have your notepad handy?
Yes.
Tipping, etiquette. Write that down because we gonna put a pin in the etiquette because that's a whole nother episode that we could go on and on about. But now, would I have been pissed? Yes. So wait, before I continue to go on, so she said something to the lady.
So all right, so the woman, the black woman went to drop the groceries off to the woman, and like they catch it like mid conversation. So she's like, "You're really not going to tip me?" And she's like, "No, I'm not tipping you." And she's like, you crushing my ramen. She's like, "No, your ramen is perfectly fine." Like they going back and forth about the groceries. She's like, "Well, give me my groceries." She's like, "No, I'm not giving you your groceries because you ain't tipped me." She's like, "Everything that's here is going back to the store, going back on the card and everything." And I'm like, "Well, that kind of
wasting your time, your energy, and your money."
Yeah. So
I'm not doing it.
You got a double screen up, man.
I got a double screen up.
All right, no, it was only on mine, which is weird. Like you was picture in picture. But so
that was my other side coming out like you're right.
So it was she was she's like, "Well, I'm taking everything back to the store." And I'm like, "Wait, so not only you're not gonna get a tip, but you're gonna do twice the work and still not get a tip. And now you're not gonna get paid for the service.
And now you're getting kicked off Instacart, so you're not even gonna have a job.
Yeah. So it's like all because you felt all because you felt entitled to a tip. Like, I always say this. Let me, because if you Instacart and you receive the groceries, just because the order is over, don't mean I'm like, you know what? She was worth tipping, or he was worth tipping after the fact. You know what I mean? Because you don't always think about it in the moment. You know what I mean? Like, I seen this guy say this. He said, when you're unsure about something somebody's asking you to do for them, say no. Because when you say no, you can stick to the no. But if you decide that later on that you want to say yes, you can always go back and say yes. So if she decided that she didn't want to tip in the moment, no. But what after what if she helped her with all the groceries in the house or something? Now I'm like, oh, I wasn't gonna tip, but now I'm gonna tip you because you really helped me. You know what I mean? Like, you looked out.
That you didn't do any.
First
Sorry,
of all, the fact that the tip
didn't
was
do
a part of the
anything.
conversation is crazy to me.
Yeah.
First, what we gotta understand is we gotta stop being so broke acting and money hungry that we're jeopardizing the future of us continuing to make money for one tip that we just didn't get at this time. You're not always gonna get tipped. You're not always gonna get tipped. You're not always gonna get tipped. Yes, you may feel some type of way because you may feel like that the work you did was deserving of a tip, but at the end of the day, it's not about what you think. It's about what the person who has to tip you think. And if they don't feel like they want to give you a tip,
did
then
a better
you
job.
keep
So
it
your tips
pushing.
is included.
Somebody else gonna give you a tip. Like,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't work like that. Like you said, like, you're not entitled to anything. You're not entitled. The only thing you're entitled to is the pay that Instacart gonna give you. Anything else that anybody give you is extra. Take that shit with a grain of salt. But the entire
I want to say this real quick before we get off, y'all, because when I was in Arizona, I was lifting, and I'm also a Lyft driver. And people give me tips. They give me tips. They don't give me tips. Whatever. I don't even expect it. My expectations are very low for humans. So I don't go in thinking you're giving me anything. I go in like, okay. Then if you give it to me, I'm like, yeah. But outside of that, I'm tipped. So I didn't tip everybody because my tip standards, I think people got tip standards. My tip standards is you need to engage with me, do something extra, do something that makes me feel good. Like the lady was like, your nails are cute. I was like, tip. The other man was mute and dumb. Nothing. Like
exactly. Like for real, when you like take what's from Friday? Every time I think about like tipping or whatever, it'd be like bend over, stick your butt out, bang head, bounce with me. Like, you gotta work for this money, honey. Like, but the thing about it is that y'all don't know the art of getting money because there really is an art. And if y'all want to learn, I'll be more than happy to teach y'all. So just leave a comment in the description and I will get y'all together.
Hey, I'll give you an example. I took my son, we out Saturday. One got a little haircuts, you know what I mean, about to go do some shopping and stuff. So he like, Dad, let's go to Applebee's real quick, grab something to eat. I'm like, all right, cool. So they like, oh, well, we don't have like enough servers or whatever. I'm like, all these empty tables, you know what I mean? So it's like they double stacking like a section or whatever. I was like, we'll sit at at the pub tables. I mean, we ain't getting all crazy, but because the waitress had a bad attitude because they put more people in her section, she, instead of like taking it with a grain of salt, like, oh, this means more money for me because I'm gonna get tipped better. She looked at it as like, oh, they making me do all this extra work, so my quality of service is gonna go down. So she did the bare minimum, to say the least. She came over, said, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go do X, Y, and Z. Came back. So now I'm like, all right, I see the vibes, I feel the energy. Let me do everything all at once. Ordered our drinks, ordered our food, ordered our appetizer all at the same time. You know what I mean? Just because I already know it's gonna be a minute. We get our food, we get our appetizer. You know what I mean? She don't come back. By the time she come back, my son been waiting on the drink 10, 15 minutes, a second drink. So, she finally gave him a second drink. At that point, we was like, you know what, just make it to go. And bring me the check. So she don't come back for another 10, 15 minutes with the drink. So in my head, I'm thinking like, should I tip her? How much should I tip her? And because I'm like, she did the bare minimum of service. Like, if I wasn't with my son, I would have sat at the bar and ate. You know what I mean? But because she didn't do anything. You know what I mean?
Did
Like,
you tip her?
so I did end up tipping her. I did
Why?
because I gave her the the 15% was too high. So I gave her a tick more for shock value, a tip for shock value versus it being a tip that she thought she was going to get. You know what I mean? Now my old self,
One thing I don't do is reward bad behavior. And if
bro.
you treat me not good, I'm not giving you anything. I don't give a fuck.
So
Because one, you get paid by the hour, and everybody knows that when it comes to tips, you have to work for them. You gotta bend over, stick your butt out, and bank head bounce for this
but
money,
this is
honey.
the funny part. I think people are more accepting of not getting a tip than getting a tip, and it not be the tip you want. So when I left $1 on the table, I mean,
That'd piss me off.
yeah,
The
that's what I'm
child.
saying. So my
I'd have
old
turned around and said, "Live, you in that dollar."
my old self would have wrote a note when I signed with the card. My old self would have wrote a note explaining to you as give better service, you get a better tip.
Right.
But my more mature self just left $1
Right.
and
This is what your service was worth. I get
yeah,
it.
you know
I'm
what I
gonna
mean?
start doing that. I'm
Can
gonna
I
start
add
doing that.
something, y'all?
Go
Real
ahead.
quick. This is so funny. It's right on life story. So Uber got this thing now where you can send like something from your house to somebody else's house, like a package or whatever. So I did it for the first time the other day. My sister wanted a pump, and I had already was with her all day. I'm like, sis, I got a pump, but I ain't coming out no more. Like, what you want to do? You want to like charge it up for the Uber, get you what you want? She like, yeah, let's do it. Da-da-da. So we did it. She gave me the wrong address. So when the man he picked it up, he went to her. He was just waiting. I'm like, why are you not there? And she like, what happened? I'm like, or whatever I told her. And she was like, oh my God, I gave you the wrong address. But the address was like up just a few more. Like say it was 2408, but she was at 2416. It was just up a little bit more. She just messed it up like that. So he like, oh, he wouldn't answer the phone. And he was like, oh, if you want me to go to the other address, you got to change it in the system. So I'm like, oh, dude, it's not allowing me to. Otherwise, I would have. So I need you to just be a human and decide what you're going to do without the system or whatever. Like, I just need you to do it. And I'm like, I'm going to give you a tip. He like, please. He once again put back in the chat, please change it in the address. Change it in the system. I'm like, brother, don't change the system. Either you're going to cancel it. And then my sister are like, sorry, sis, you lost your pump. I'm like, I guess I lost a pump because this nigga is not going to do it. And I don't know what's going on or whatever. So outside of that, he was like, he texted. Mind you, I already said I'm gonna give you a tip. So it's me, it's not nobody else. So I'm gonna give you a tip. So after that, he was like, I'm at the address. No, he put, that's how I read it. I'm at address. This is embarrassing. That's what the message read. No, me, I'm a laugher. So I laughed like, what, bro? Like, I don't know what's going on. I laughed at it. So my sister, who was Aquarius, was not laughing. She like, what, bro? Like, she didn't take it the way I took it. So she was like, he made me go get it. Or so like, she told me her experience of how it went down. I'm like, dang, sis, I'm sorry. Or whatever. So the next day, I was talking to somebody else about it. I was like, and I gave him a tip. And my sister was like, why would you give him a tip? He was very, why would you give him a tip? He was nasty to that. So I was like, well, I was gonna give him a bigger tip, but I only gave him $1 because it was our mistake and I had already made a promise. So that's why I gave him the $1 because I wanted to pay for our mistake and him having to travel a little bit and also my promise. But he could have got a bigger tip, but he called us embarrassing. So
All right. So I'm I'm gonna close it out with this one because it seems like there's been a lot of bad customer service stories. So I'm gonna end it with a good one. So was it yesterday? No, it wasn't yesterday. The day before yesterday, we went to Fridays and we sat at the bar, and there were two. It was a bartender. It was a guy and a girl. They looked like us. Shout out to them. Shout out to Kevin, and I believe her name was Elena. Shout out to Kevin and Elena at Fridays. So we sitting there at the bar, like he giving us good conversation. Like this is a man who really loves what he does, right? He loved what he did. So we sitting there, we order our drinks, we order our food, we sitting there eating. So every time he made a drink and it was extra in the cup, he poured it in the cup and gave it to us. Like he just showed us so much love. He gave us like free shots. Like it was just like a great situation. Like I've had great service before, but it was just like, so then we going to pay for the check, and my mom like, all of that, y'all give him all of that, that's too much. Mind you, my mom she a little ignorant. She don't know no better. God forgive her. But isn't she all loud? I'm like, first of all, I said, really, that's not even enough. Like if I had more cash on me, he would have got all of it. Like for real, like if I had $50. It was my tips that I had made from the shop that day. I gave him the whole 50. If I had $100, he was getting the whole $100 simply because he was just that good of a person, and the service that he gave was just that good. And I just say that to say, it's like exactly the same with your dollar story life. It's kind of like really give people, like, show appreciation and gratitude to people when they do you good, because there's so many people out here who are getting paid tons and tons of money to be shit people and not treat people well. Like I appreciate when people treat me well, and I like overly tip them, like, because I really want to thank them for their service, because there's a lot of people in service industries who are just trash.
Yeah.
Trash. So, like, yeah, I just had to leave y'all with a good customer service story because it sounds like y'all had a bad experience. We're going to pray for them and their peace and their embarrassment. We're going to pray for them. But, yeah like, shout out to Kevin at Fridays. He did us well. I appreciate it. Shout out to all the good people in the service industry.
Word, because I definitely appreciate it. It definitely make you appreciate the ones who treat you right that much more. Mm-hmm. Like I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go back for those reasons.
I already got the schedule. I'm like, all right, boom. Like you be like, all right, boom. So I'm in the office next week because it's down the street from where I work. I'm like, all right, I'm in the office next week. And whenever I have to go in the office, I like to go to like a happy hour after I get off of work. I was like, all right, boom, I'm coming to see you for happy hour. Like, yes, like. So there are some good people out there who are not entitled, who are not expecting it. They're doing it because they love it, and it shows. Like if more people did what they love, I feel like the Instacart lady was mad. She was mad because she had to ring up $400 worth of groceries. So she probably like, oh, I had to do all this work. I better get a tip. That's because you hate what you're doing. Go find what you love to do and go do it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the reason why people are so miserable and giving such bad service, because everybody is somewhere where they're not supposed to be. She probably supposed to be grooming dogs or something.
You're not laying on that flat mattress.
Right. Like
you never know. But people is definitely angry on the inside.
They are.
That's what I want.
Man, listen, your biggest blessings come by treating people well.
Yeah.
People don't understand that.
So, in this hospitality thing, so the guy from the NFL, Chad Ochocinco, he was his real name Chad Johnson, but they nicknamed Ochocinco. So retired NFL player. He was at Bahama Breeze, and he wound up tipping the young lady $1,000. I think he had a $20 bill. Tipped her $1,000.
You never know who you come across. That's why it's important to treat people well.
And like Bahama Breeze is not like NFL Films is in New Jersey. It's like in Maple Shade, Marlton area, something like that. So they go to different restaurants. You know what I mean? So it's been times there for happy hour, and a bunch of the NFL guys is in there and everything. So her not knowing football, just treating him as a human being and treating him well, she got $1,000 tip.
That's how it is. And the person before him probably ain't tip or nothing. But do you think she treated the next person bad simply because the person before her didn't get a tip? No, she just dusted it off and kept on pushing and continued to give good service, and you got blessed.
Fact.
So we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you all for being here with us. We appreciate you all.
Yes.
Anybody have any closing remarks before we head
I
out?
do. I have one closing remark, and it's to go piggyback off of the Jada story and what was my personal takeaway.
Come
which
with it.
was because she released this book, and then Britney released a book as well, and she like revealed some secrets about her getting pregnant by Justin Timberlake when they were teens. Speaking of teen pregnancies, Britney Spears. Okay, so they're supposed to be, running up the headlines and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna keep some of my secrets for 20 years from now. So that way, 20 years from now, when I'm that age, I'll release the secrets on my book and go do the marketing thing that Jada and Britney is doing. That was my takeaway.
Yeah, I'm gonna save my secrets till I meet God. And then I'll release them then.
I'm cracking up.
But thank y'all. We love y'all. Go ahead, I'm sorry, you got closing remarks. Go ahead.
Nah, I was gonna say some things just gotta go to the grave with me.
Listen. I was having a conversation with my friends, and they were talking about having somebody that you talk to. I said, yeah, I have that person that I talk to. It's my man. And I said, some shit though, I said I talk to my man and God, and some shit I don't even tell him. Talking about God, some shit I don't even tell God. So,
He ain't got to. He already know.
I was about to say he already know.
Do we? Do we really?
I think so.
He was there. He was with me shooting in the gym.
I was going to be.
He was with me shooting in the gym.
He does.
But on that note, thank y'all for joining Politics as usual. We will be here not next week, but the following week. Yeah. If you did not already, please like, subscribe, comment, turn on post notifications because we want you to be a part of the next Politic. Okay?
Like follow.
Love y'all. Peace.
Love. Stay on, guys.